You're not lazy, you're overstimulated. Your brain is literally drowning in chemical clutter. And that's why you feel tired, demotivated, and distracted like all the freaking time, even when you're not doing anything at all and you're supposed to be full of energy. And in this video, I'm gonna try to explain the problem as quickly as possible and offer some solutions. Let's see what happens. So we're gonna talk about dopamine, about glutamate and decision fatigue, about some daily habits that hurt or help you. And then I'm gonna try to give some practical takeaways that focus on how to reset your brain chemistry. So let's start with dopamine. When you start your day by grabbing your phone and scrolling for 45-60 minutes, what you do is you are exhausting your dopamine reserve. Because we build dopamine when we are moving. So when you wake up, you are using what you have stored, and then when you finally put your phone away, you have zero motivation to do anything. So wake up, get up, and give yourself some movement. It could be just brushing your teeth, making your bed. If you have a balcony, can you get on that balcony to drink your morning coffee or tea, whatever? Just set yourself for success. At the very least, because the news, how the world is falling apart, they can wait a little bit. If you care about resetting your dopamine and gaining back some of your control, you have to learn how to enter flow state. First, choose some activity. One activity. Do not multitask, just one thing around the house. It could be cleaning, it could be journaling, it could be doing something with your plants, playing with your pet or kids, anything. Just one activity. Do not have any podcast on the background, talking with your friends, no other distractions. Just you doing one thing. And the first 15 minutes are gonna be difficult. You will feel the need to grab something else, maybe your phone, or just put something on. If you resist the first 15 minutes and continue with this one activity, you will enter flow state and your brain will start producing healthy dopamine. Enjoy. I have already made some other videos on this topic, but for the sake of not making this video 2 hours long, I'm just gonna leave some links in the description box and we're gonna move on to glutamate. Every decision you make costs energy, and this energy involves glutamate, a neurotransmitter that most of the people don't know because they don't need to, alright, but it affects you on a daily basis. Glutamate is your brain's main signal that says go. It helps neurons to fire so that you can make decisions, weigh options, focus. Glutamate is like caffeine for neurons, great in small doses, but too much for too long creates toxic buildup. And poorly regulated glutamate means that your brain starts cutting corners. It reduces reasoning for the sake of quick, easy decisions, which is actually the neuroscience behind that easy decision. I'm just gonna order some takeaway instead of cooking at the end of a long day. But the good thing is that your brain has a way to clean itself from that glutamate buildup. It's called the glymphatic system. The problem though is that this system only works properly during deep sleep. So if you're going to sleep at irregular times, you're waking up during the night and you're basically never really rested when you wake up, that means your brain didn't get the proper chance to clean itself. So you wake up with yesterday's chemicals in your brain still there, still causing damage. So quickly after, you are experiencing decision fatigue, which said in very simple words means that your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that is responsible for making rational decisions, is working in a very messy environment. So things like don't message your ex, don't eat that extra cookie, get up and do your workout, all those rational decisions become extremely difficult because your prefrontal cortex is overstimulated. It's not functioning well because you never let that thing rest properly. Get a good night's sleep. It can quite literally change your life. What is oxidative stress and why the heck should you care about it? When you're low on sleep, you're stressed, or you're running on junk food, your brain's cleanup system cannot keep up. Meaning you have leftover glutamate in your brain, which makes your neurons fire up too much. So they consume a lot more energy to make the same decisions. So given that per day you make a lot of decisions already, those decisions cost you more energy because you didn't clean up your system, because you didn't sleep well enough. You have too much glutamate. You're feeling decision fatigue. All of this creates like a rust in your brain. Oxidative stress. And that chemical rust in your brain cells slowly damages them. On top of that, oxidative stress particularly hits the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for good decisions, rational decisions, healthy decisions. So this oxidative stress means that you're not just physically tired, but that your neurons are literally under attack. The consequence is that the signals between your neurons slow down. Your focus is not focusing, and your brain defaults to whatever is easiest. And how do you cope with that? You eat even more junk food, you scroll even more on your phone, you make even worse decisions in order to feel a little bit better. Basically, you're creating a vicious cycle that feeds the problem. Sometimes it's about increasing the good daily habits that can help you, that can heal you. Other times, it's about cutting off the bad habits. So I'm going to give you one example of each of those situations. You can take even one of it and stay with it until it feels natural before you continue with the other habit. I found a solution for one of my problems and I want to share this with you because you may have the same problem. So most of us feel tired most of the time, and most of us drink coffee. I love coffee. I'll never give up my coffee, but I have a science degree in psychology, so I can understand a little bit of what happens in my brain when I have coffee right away, first thing in the morning. Caffeine blocks your adenosine receptors so that your brain cannot feel how tired you are. Adenosine is vital for energy transfer, but it also tells your brain that you are tired and you need to rest. So when you have caffeine first thing in the morning, you block this communication. So you become numb to how you really feel until, of course, the caffeine withdrawal, which usually happens in the afternoon, and they call it the afternoon crash. The solution: drink decaf coffee first thing in the morning and then have regular coffee later. This way you're keeping your lifestyle the same, you still enjoy a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, but you give some time, some chance for your brain. It's a win-win. We don't move nearly enough to have healthy brains. Movement is medicine for dopamine. They call it the law of dopamine, meaning the less you move, the less dopamine you produce. And that new trend, bed rotting, it's a physical representation of, frying your brain. So here are 4 things that you can do. Move in the morning, just within the first 30 minutes. Find a way to move, even if it's just a little walk or a little yoga for 10 minutes, anything will help. If you're working a desk job, give yourself 10 minutes break between tasks. Give your brain a chance to have the ability to focus again. 3, again, if you're having that desk job, search on YouTube those 10-minute stretching videos. Literally type stretching while sitting and you'll find them. And 4, if your grocery store is within walking distance, go and buy just a few things so that you have a reason to go and take that walk again the next day. I know it's a little stupid thing and it may be annoying, but if you have a reason to leave the house, there's a higher chance that you're gonna leave the house and move your butt. Basically, think of movement like it's a game and try to play it daily, because then you will feel better even if you don't want to. Okay, let's recap all of this plus add some other tips, and I will make it in a way that you can simply take screenshots and hopefully create some cheat sheets for yourself. All right, so we have the morning and daily habits. Use coffee strategically. Try 15 to 20 minutes power coffee naps to avoid the afternoon crash. Remember that sleep and recovery are essential, and it's a really good idea to create some wind down routine to avoid overstimulation before bed. We all need some help fixing our decision fatigue, so reduce the cognitive load you have every single day. You can do this by preparing meals in advance, choosing simple outfits. 90% of my clothes are black or white or black and white. It's a game changer. Follow to-do lists, like make a decision what you want to do and just follow it instead of thinking every minute, what should I do next? Rewire your stimulation patterns. For example, schedule a specific time for news instead of all day long, constantly getting this negative drip. Like it's just too much. Negative messages draw more attention, which is partly why we are bombarded with negative news all the time. Another part is because the world is kind of all the time falling apart. It's not helping, however, to listen about it every hour. Another thing is take walks without your phone. It's a good dopamine reset technique. And listen to music instead of podcasts or audiobooks, because then you let your brain rest a little bit. And remember that micro movements count. Make your bed, water your plants. You are not lazy, but you're trying to navigate life with overstimulated, exhausted brain. You make it too difficult for yourself. And I'm not saying it's all your fault, but I'm saying you have agency and you have power in this, and I'm encouraging you to take back some of your control. And the good news is that small daily changes can build up and you can benefit from the compound effect. And if all this resonates with you, I'm going to recommend you another dopamine related video. Hopefully, a step by step, we're going to all gain back some of this control, because at this point, we just need to reset a little bit our dopamine systems, our nervous systems. Take a deep breath. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.